welcome to another edition of Aztecs All In. It's the podcast that is all in on anything related to San Diego State University Aztec athletics. I'm Steve Perez with Weiner, a couple of Aztec alums, season ticket holders, Aztec for life in some cases. And in this edition, we talk men's basketball. The season is firing up, and Brian Dutcher is talking about the upcoming season and what they do for an encore after making the Final Four. That includes the exciting TV schedule news. Football team has a bye week this week, and no one from the program making themselves available to the media, though they are practicing. And we have a few relevant tidbits from the San Diego County Friday Night Lights and odds and ends with some other sports. So, Lewis, say hello.
Steve, hello. How are you today? Hectic schedule for football. We have a break this week. We've been busy too, not just the football team. So it's nice to have a little break, sit back, talk a little Aztec hoops.
That's right. Here we are halfway through football. Now men's basketball's going on already, right?
Yeah, and Brian Dutcher spoke to the media this week, first gathering at Viejas. And a lot to look forward to this season. Aztecs fresh off the national championship game. Again, that's hard to say and hard to believe, Steve, that we actually played in the national championship game.
It's wonderful news, but I'm sure Brian Dutcher knows the business as well as anybody, and it's this. What have you done lately?
Well, he lost a lot of players. Lost Matt Bradley, lost Kashad Johnson, and it's a matter of, there'll be a good team, no doubt, but how will they fit? How will the pieces get put together? They lost Nathan Mensah, a huge defensive presence, and it's hard to find somebody to do exactly what he did. So that will be a challenge. And Brian Dutcher talked about that and other stuff at the media gathering.
So we've been going since the summer, obviously, on a 4-hour work week on the court. Fall semester started, we were a 4-hour work week, and then Monday went to a 20-hour work week on the floor. So we're making good progress. I like this year's team. Like I said, you never know what you're going to be until you're hitting the mouth, so we got a long ways until we're hitting the mouth. So we're going to try to get better every day. I like our pieces. We're a little beat up right now, but it's early. We got 2 or 3 scholarship kids that aren't practicing for various reasons, but should have them all back by the start of the season. And excited to get this year's Aztec basketball team on the floor and see what we can become. Every year we want to shoot the ball better, and I think this team's capable of shooting the ball better. Now we'll see how it gets into the games, how we shoot it, but I think we'll be a better shooting team. We may play different. We may have, if you watch Aztec basketball over the years, there'll be years where we'd have 4 guys out there that couldn't shoot at all and a good guard. And there'll be years we'd have 4 guards out there and 1 big. And so we'll have an ability to play a lot of different ways, including a 4-guard lineup if we so choose. So we're still trying to figure that all out. And like I said, sometimes that just takes time to see how well they actually play together. And we haven't had a full scrimmage yet. We scrimmage in every practice, but not a 20-minute half because of the injuries. So hopefully when we start scrimmaging longer periods of time, we'll have a better indication of what we're going to be. What we did last year was really hard to do, and no better example than not one of the top 3 seeds made the Final Four. And those are supposedly the 12 best teams in the country. So no matter how your season goes, if you peak at the right time and you're playing your best basketball at the end of the year, anything's possible. Obviously, we want a level of consistency as we do that. But the thing about Aztec basketball, I think we've all seen over the years, is we get better as the season goes on. So no matter how well we're playing, we always feel there's another level we can play to. We got better gear. When we went to the Final Four, they sent us a lot of really nice stuff. So that may be the motivator alone. I could use a new sweatsuit or 2. So if we win enough, we're going to get really good gear. I know that. Jordan's taking good care of us.
So I'm just wondering if maybe the Aztecs men's basketball team could use an undersized hype guy. So the next time they make it to the Final Four, I can load up on some of this gear. What do you think?
Yeah, gear would be nice. We're on a shoestring budget here at Aztecs All In, right? So any gear or anything or any swag would be most welcome.
Right.
What do you think?
I beg to differ. I have one of those oversized gigantic watches that's Rolex that I wear around my neck, like a hype guy. So that's a good starter, but I need some more of that Nike Jordan stuff.
Yeah, that's good stuff, too. So it'll be fun to see what they're wearing on the sidelines. The Mountain West Conference released the television schedule, and the Aztecs will be on national television 4 times this year, as well as the regular games we see on CBS Sports Network and FS1, Steve. So more eyeballs on the Aztecs following their, national championship run. So we're
ta-da! Big reveal. Also on the CBS Sports Network on Fox Sports, and that's good. More exposure.
Yeah, so
the better.
3 games. Yeah, 3 games on CBS, 1 game on Fox. So the media contract spells that the Mountain West must have 2 games on Big Boy CBS during the year, and last year the Aztecs were in both of those, and it's the same this year. So San Diego State will get 3 on Big Boy CBS and 1 on Fox. The games on CBS will be the home game January 6th against UNLV at 1, 2 road games January 13th and January 20th at New Mexico and Boise. That Boise game is an 11 a.m. Mountain start, so that will be 10 a.m. here on the West Coast.
And the that's final a Friday game?
No, that one's not a Friday game, but that's a 10 a.m. game on a Saturday.
Okay.
And Utah State, the home game, that would be a Fox game on the 3rd of February. There are 3 Friday night games, which are rare in the Mountain West Conference. February 9th at Nevada, that would be a home game starting at 5. February 16th, New Mexico. I'm sorry, the Nevada game is a road game on the 9th. The 16th of February at 7 p.m. is a home game against New Mexico, and then home with Boise on the 8th of March, 7 p.m. So 2 Friday night, 7 p.m. games. Traffic, tough to get there after work, so that's a bit of an issue, but I'm sure the fans will figure it out somehow to get there.
I have 2 thoughts. And the first one is this, just with the diminished overall viewership via traditional channels, broadcast networks and such, I don't know if we can call CBS the big boy network anymore.
Well, that's true.
And I don't know if we can call any networks on TV big boys. They're turning into these little parts of the stack. That's the first thought. And then the other thought is there's this novel game that's being played at San Juan Capistrano, and apparently that one has not been decided on as far as what, if any, TV coverage. Also, they're playing Gonzaga and Long Beach State, and I don't think St. Catherine is going to be on TV as yet either. That was the one I was looking for.
Well, I'm sure Gonzaga will have to be on television. There's no way.
Yeah, but what about St. Catherine? Huh?
Well, I have not much to say. I have to do some reading up on the scouting reports at St. Catherine, so I haven't done much on that point. But should be fun. Aztecs 8-1 on CBS since 2022. Of course, the lone loss is the national championship game against UConn. So looking forward to some basketball, Steve, after a football season that hasn't quite lived up to expectation, huh?
Well, it's not done yet. They are in this midweek or mid-season period. They have this bye, okay, which is coming at a good time. There's no media availability, so we won't have anything new from players or Coach Hoke. They are practicing. Those practices are closed. The next actual game is against Hawaii, and they will be going to Honolulu for that.
Yeah, big game there for San Diego State. They have to get a win and get one in the win column there in the conference, or it could be a really long rest of the season.
Yeah, at this point in the season there, they are in that unenviable position of having to look at other games on the schedule, other teams that are going to be playing Air Force, Boise State, and also Fresno State, which is their last game of the season, and hope they can get knocked off. And the way they are now in the tiebreaker, they have to hope that those teams lose 3 games for the Aztecs to have a chance of making it to the title game. So big uphill climb as far as the goal of winning the Mountain West Conference.
Yeah, the conference does get a little easier, but again, the issues that the Aztecs have been facing all season tackling, not much of a problem this past week against Air Force, but they were running past most of the defenders without much of an opportunity to tackle them. And chunk plays have been killing the Aztecs. Just a lot of 30, 40, 50-yard gains in the air and on the ground. So those have to be tightened up.
Yeah, a lot of chunks in that Aztec program right now. Chunks. And the fans probably also. Anyways,
I see what you did there. Yeah.
Thank you. The only other thought about that is going into this game, Brady Hoke said he loved playing triple option teams. It's because it exposes your fundamentals. So, without the Aztecs football this week, I am fortunate enough to get out onto the high school football fields on Friday nights in another assignment, in another life, with a KUSI Prep Pigskin Report every Friday night with Paul Rudy and his merry band, Brandon Stone and all the rest. Last Friday saw me on the football field before the game, doing a little warm up and all that kind of stuff at La Jolla High School, where La Jolla was taking on the Mira Mesa Marauders in a conference game for both teams, and a bit of a crosstown rivalry for those two. And ran into Mira Mesa Marauders head coach Aurelio Morales, and he's on the field. And I had a question for him before the game, just kind of making conversation,
Where's JR Tolver tonight?
Good question. We could call him. Hey, let's just call him. Let's call JR Tolver.
JR, yeah.
Let's put a shout out to JR Tolver here. Let's see. See if he'll pick up. Oh, okay, here we go.
You want to do voicemail?
Here we go. Hey, I got one of your guys here, man, asking for you, brother. What's your name?
JR, it's Steve Perez. I'm out here on the field at La Jolla High School with the Marauders.
Steve Perez is out here. Boy, he said, where you at, man? I said, I don't know. I ain't seen him in a minute. I think he might have moved back to the DR or something. Yeah, what you doing, man?
Hey, well, I finally got Louis Weiner. I finally got into his back pocket. Tell me who we go to next for this NIL stuff for the Aztecs.
Yeah, they got to win some football games.
That was great, Steve. JR Tolver, of course, a friend of Aztecs All In. He's running the Aztec Link Collective NIL. And yes, it was a number of episodes where you kept asking me, hey, have you signed up for Aztec Link yet? And I kept saying, no, but I will. And I finally did. So I appreciate you letting JR know that I finally did it, right?
Yeah. I mean, and at this point, we know the Aztecs can use whatever help in football they can get. So Aztec Link NIL is the way to go for that. Aztec legend JR Tolver is the guy to talk to about joining in. So you can go to azteclink.com for more. Meantime, just to echo the words of both of those guys, including the Marauders head coach, Aurelio Morales, which was kind of fun that he just kind of went rolling right with it and had him on his phone and whipped him right on out. He said they gotta win some football games. So
yeah,
that's the end of that.
Yeah, absolutely, they got to win some football games for sure.
So let's talk about some Aztec soccer. In the men's side, the Aztecs lost to Cal 1-0 on the sports deck last Thursday. No longer undefeated. They battled to a scoreless tie against number 6 Stanford on Sunday night, with a road game against Washington in Seattle on Thursday. This Thursday, if you're listening to this podcast. And they play out their last season in the conceding Division I West Coast Athletics to the Midwest in the TV Networks Conference. That old name of that conference is dead to me. Women's soccer is going to as well. San Diego State women's soccer is now 8-2-2 overall, with a defeat of Colorado College 3-1 Sunday afternoon at the deck. That's a Mountain West Conference game. The Aztecs are 3-0-1 in the conference. They have Boise State next up Thursday night at the sports deck. That would be October the 5th. Colorado College is 1-3 in conference play. And did you know, in another sport, San Diego State's Rekha Nirati has earned Freshman of the Week honors in the Mountain West as part of the Aztecs swim and dive team. They have a streak of 54 consecutive dual meet victories with wins over Cal Poly and Fresno Pacific. Last weekend, Rekha finished first in the 200-meter freestyle. And if I ever get to meet her in person and talk to her in person, we may even get to learn the proper pronunciation of her name, as she is from Hungary.
Absolutely. Nice to talk other Aztec sports in the podcast this week, where we've primarily been focused on football. So we got basketball, soccer, and a lot of other sports to get to as the year goes along. And one reminder about JR Tolver and Aztec Link, we had a great discussion with him a couple of months ago. That is a special podcast. So if you're interested in learning more about Aztec Link, be sure to listen to that.
There is a lot of complaining about the Aztecs' performance on the football field and the performance to date. Fans do a lot of that. You can go to the games yourselves and see for yourselves, and perhaps even give some words of encouragement from the stands. Judging from the turnout at home over the first part of this season, it hasn't been there. So anybody who's out there complaining about how they do, that's one thing they can do and actually be a part of the solution. The second thing they can do in a positive way is to contribute in a way to Aztec Link, as opposed to sitting there on the couch with the beer in your hand going rah, 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 rah. Lewis, take us out.
All right, sounds good. That'll do it for this episode of Aztecs All In. Thank you so much for taking a listen. You can contact us at aztecsallin@gmail.com. You can also follow us on the X, Aztecs_all_in. Until next time, for Steve Perez, I'm Louis Weiner. Take care.